Yo, I know there's a lot of NBA 2K fans out there. In fact, I know there's millions of them, and I'm really pleased to be able to bring you this 10-minute interview with an NBA 2K13 developer that we got a chance to do last week. I hope you enjoy it. Make sure you let me know what you think in the comments below. We are currently in Tottenham Court Road and we're just off to Premier PR's office for this interview with NBA 2K13 developer, so it should be sick. Start just by sort of introducing yourself and talk about your role and how long you've been involved with 2K Sports.
So I'm Rob Jones, I'm a gameplay director on NBA 2K, the series. I've been involved with them since 2K2. My job is to make sure that what the user feels in terms of basketball experience on the court is as true to life as possible. So the team that I work with is really focused on the on-court basketball experience, both in controls and emotion and the way that the players behave like the real-life counterparts.
So you're a former player yourself as well?
I did play, not in the NBA, but I did play a lot of basketball in my youth.
And so what's the process? What goes into a game like this? Like, how does it all work? I mean, how long have you been working on it? Did 2K13 start before 2K12 came out?
Yes, 2K12 started probably a good 3 weeks, or at least, you know, the ideas for 2K13 started about 3 weeks before we submitted 2K12. You know, at that point you're wrapping, you know, you're kind of winding down, you can't really add anything new, so you're kind of stashing those ideas for your next version.
And what would you say are the biggest differences between 2K12 and 2K13?
I think it's a realization of, you know, how good of a game we are. I mean, we really are solid in our feature set. We're building upon stuff that we already have. In gameplay, we are actually taking some risks. We're changing for the first time in 6 years the way that the user interacts with their dribble. It used to be a left stick based system. It's now a right stick based system. And you know, we've made the game way more fluid, way more exciting and dynamic. We spent a lot of time really answering those critical questions that we had coming from our most passionate fans from last year, and making sure that those questions were answered. We've added, you know, we've bolstered the modes that are the most played in our game. So my career, where you take one player and you try to actually like build his life up, and then we've created brand new modes. My team, which is a fantasy basketball meets collectibles type game, and then a customization suite that is phenomenal, between clothing and accessories, the ability to actually create your own shoes within, customize Nike shoes. We're just really excited all around that, and finally the inclusion of JayZ as kind of the overarching creative direction in terms of presentation, music, and his involvement in terms of allowing us to get some players that we've never had before in the game. Barkley with the Dream Team. I mean, we're just really excited with where the game is.
Talking about JayZ, obviously a lot of people are talking about him. And what, sort of how involved was he?
So from the get-go, you know, he did not want to be involved if he wasn't going to be able to actually put a stamp on, which is very different than most guys that you would approach that way, because you know, you go in, hey, we want to put your name on here. Oh yeah, just write me a check and use my name. You know, and that doesn't fit with him. I mean, especially because I think that everything that he's ever been represented in, he's done well with. And so to enter that venture with us, he had to make sure that what we did was going to feel authentic to his fans. Not only to ours, but to his as well. Obviously, music is his strength. So his soundtrack, his attention to the detail in terms of presentation and the menus, and how the music and music videos intermingled and actually built up your excitement about playing our game. Those are things that he really spent a lot of time with. He gave us, he gave us feedback as a gamer, which I didn't expect, on what he thought we could do to make the game more fun. And that's surprising because these guys have a lot of stuff to do, so I didn't really know that he actually spent any time playing our game. And finally he also went out of his way to really give us access to some assets that were his, that you don't get in that, they're normally not available to anybody, as well as using his strings to call upon some of his famous friends like Barkley to decide to join the fray and actually be part of this experience with them.
Working on such a popular game, do you feel a lot of pressure to get it right? Every year.
We've worked harder this year probably than any year before, and I think it's a testament to how passionate our team is, but also how passionate our fans are. We didn't know where we were going to be this year in terms of, we knew that we've done great the past couple of years, but we also realized that to cement ourselves as a dynasty, and that's what we want to be, you have to deliver a top-notch product year in and year out, and that's what we did. I want to say that our efforts this year were probably twice as heavy as the year prior. And I think it shows.
If you were to point to one thing that you're personally most proud of about the game, what would you say it would be?
It's always the gameplay for me, but and I'll say why. For the first time, I feel that there's an incredible balance between playing offense and playing defense that actually makes the games not about, hey, I scored on you, you scored on me, I scored on you, you scored on me. It's more about a strategy and how you approach the game, which is something that I really wanted to strive for in terms of the way you play. But when you combine that with how fluid it really all feels and how exciting it is to throw alley-oops. I mean, one of the new things that I haven't been able to show anybody yet, you can actually throw an alley-oop to yourself off the glass. Those are moments that you don't see very often, but when you can pull those off, I mean, those are jumping out of your seat moments. I used to just put your controller down and just walk away from the table and say, hey, you can't top that. When you can excite people that much because they're playing your game, you have something special, and that's what we're the most proud of.
I had a couple of questions that come up a few times when I said I was going to be with you today. One of them was asking, is there going to be crew mode in my player?
Everybody keeps asking me that, and I can't, necessarily answer that crew mode as they remember it is going to be there, but you will be able to play with your friends online and with your My Players.
And the other question was, is there any plans to introduce international teams?
I actually answered that question yesterday. It's something that we have been discussing with the NBA. Obviously, they're our partner. They do so much with NBA Europe, NBA Live. Their European tour. And it's something I think that the fans want, and so we'll keep knocking at that door. Obviously they're really protective of their rights, and because we're making an NBA game, I can't say that it'll happen next year. I can't say that that it'll ever happen, but it's definitely something I think that we have been exploring in terms of trying to bring to our fans.
And finally, is there any secret inside information you can let us in on 2K14?
I can just tell our fans this much. If our list of 2K13 stuff that we wanted to do was long, the list that I keep seeing for 2K14 is twice as long, and I don't know how we're going to pull it off.
I hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you stay tuned to the site. We're going to have loads of competitions and probably a few free copies of NBA 2K to give away. Make sure you get subscribed to the channel, and also you can check out all our other videos by clicking in the link to my left. I'm waiting.